Okay, so this book review is like way overdue, and sorry, Dr. King, but I finally am getting to it, and there's no way I can review this in a few words or in a few moments. So I'll just continue to review it as I go through it in the book. But y'all know John King's book, Deal With It. And I thought I'd start by, when I got the book, it looked like this. Because I edited his book, so I got his manuscript. So anyway, I thought I'd share with you my first impressions of the book. And they started on September 14th of last year. So I wrote to John and Melissa, and I said, here's some quick observations thus far. Number one, first and foremost, it's fucking brilliant. Number two, your wife is an absolute angel. Her input within your book, also a brilliant choice. This is her part where at the very end of every chapter it's called Mels Turn. And I just thought that it was just brilliant. And I went on to say, it humanizes you and shows the importance of having a positive, concrete, unwavering support system in life. The simplicity of getting you to smile once per day is not only a powerful strategy, but also extremely profound. And when you read the book, Melissa or Mel talks about how her objective every day is to just get John to smile, which is so powerful, and that's what I'm referencing here. My second one, on page 122 of his finished book, he says, actually, so that's just what I did. I started with the simple question, how do I change the way I think so I can change the way I live? And I thought, wow, this is another profound moment for me when I was editing this book, because it's an open-ended question. And us in applied creativity, we call that experiential questioning. Which invites greater thought beyond the box of where we often live. And I tell John this, and I say, I believe this to be one of your many defining moments in your recovery process. It was the moment you began to naturally teach yourself how to creatively problem solve, which also led you down the path where you would naturally infuse a bit of systematic problem solving as well. And yet, your brain was functioning at a very low level, which heightens my curiosity with the question, what pulled you from the void of living to the gift of life? My guess would be resolve, passion, and a natural born desire to just fucking live. I also think you might be a bit competitive and like winning. So in the book, he talks about how he had his brain scanned, and I'm not going to get into that too much right now, but very interesting findings after he had his brain scanned. And my final observation on this evening of September 14th was your insightfulness to realize that our externals box us into who we think we should be is also brilliant. One of my clients once said to me that her internals, her values, and her belief system were really ingrained in her from the externals in her life. She had become her external perception, and she could no longer live like that. She was living in complete disconnect. The value of authenticity is realized in this moment of truth when we can no longer be who they think we should be. This is what I teach. This is what I teach actually in under one of the methodologies, which is your belief system. I go on to say to him, it is unfortunately not taught formally in our world today. You naturally learned this. He naturally taught himself and recreated a positive affirmative belief system, which I thought was just amazing. I believe that we're all born with a natural ability to creatively problem solve, and you're a perfect example of this. John is a perfect example of how to naturally creatively problem solve through life, through challenges, and just anything that hits you in your path. I also said I'll definitely be using your book when it's published as a reference and a case history in my work, which I actually have begun doing. So anyway, so that's my first one. I'm going to continue to not necessarily review the book, but maybe share with John's audience and his clients or potential clients my observations and things that I use within his book, pathways and methodologies that I use in order to teach my clients in their road to becoming emotionally healthy. So hats off, John. Excellent job. I love the book, and off to my next observation. Thanks.